What I see happening in my practice and just in our culture is that we have these like very strict societal norms that we have to follow. Like we have to weigh this certain weight and look this certain way and, you know, eat this certain way and do these things. And it creates this illness. It really does, I believe, lead to a physiological illness. And so if I can get kind of the nuts and bolts human diet into people, like meat and fat and veggies and like the good foods that they need, and try and relieve some of that cultural neurosis, I've done my job. So this is my main message, is that butter does the body better. And so we talked about healthy fats, about butter and coconut oil and lard and tallow and these wonderful fats to cook in, and then the really good refrigerated oils and fats to eat to help balance the body, to kind of relieve some of that mental tension that's happening. I think like a pretty common misconception is that we still should cook in olive oil. That's kind of been our like healthy oil of choice. And so it's still a little shocking for people to hear why saturated fats are the best fats to cook in, and also that it's not going to make them fat, you know, and that's not necessarily like the message that I want to convey is like foods that, you know, will help you stay skinny, but it is a fear that's there that, you know, we have to kind of like bring out into the open. It's like people are afraid of that, and this will actually help with weight loss rather than with weight gain. Yeah. I feel like the emotional side of what my work is moving towards right now is that once I have people kind of eating that nuts and bolts right foods, my goal is to create a relaxation, a release of neurosis around they have to eat this very specific diet. Not that I'm against that. I think some people who are sick need a very specific diet, but you know, like a woman was asking about organic standards, and I was like, you know what, you do the best you can and then you go enjoy your life. Like that is the goal of my work, because if we don't feel good, we're not gonna do what we love to do. And if you're feeling good and you're trying as hard as you can, you know, and you're using your head, go hang out with your kids and take a nap, you know? I mean, I see so much of the world through the lens of nutrition. I just can't help it. That's like what I'm passionate about. And I feel like if people feel good in their bodies, if they can let go of some of the fear around, you know, like I have women, they gain 3 pounds and they call me a panic. If some of that can be relieved, if some calmness can come around food and some enjoyment and like love can come back through that, then we have the ability to enjoy our lives in ways that we didn't have before. And also, you know, to like the mechanics of it, if we're eating foods that fuel our bodies correctly, if we're getting the right nutrients in, that is how we do our work. You know, that's how we're functional humans, is through functional nutrition and functional medicine. You know, a lot of women that I see have autoimmunity, a lot of women that I see have chronic fatigue, they have blood sugar issues, they just are tired, they're adrenally fatigued, they're stressed out. There are nutrients and foods that support us so that we can actually do what we love to do. And on the more like emotional, spiritual side of it, there is such a neurosis around food and diet and the way that we look, and that like constant, it's like a vampiric, you know, thing that's happened in our culture with billboards and magazines, and there's such a story around it. If I can let that, you know, go just a little bit, help people to get that down just a little bit, they can turn, you know, whatever passion they have into bringing it to the world. Butter. Get a good grass-fed organic butter and cook with that, you know, and coconut oil. I feel like we're such a fat phobic, you know, it's just like the snackle cookies craze of the like 80s and early 90s, that, you know, even if people are eating good fats, like I said in there, you know, they're eating this little bitty amount of it, and, you know, for, you know, their whole meal. And really 30 to 40 to even 50% for some people of the diet needs to be fat, but we're scared to death. So, you know, it's like, that would be my message for today that we talked about the most in the session, is get the good omega-3s, the good fish oils, good olive oil, good coconut oil and butter and tallow and lard into the diet, and the body will start to balance and feel really good. I feel like specifically for women, these are the people that come to me women are my main clients, and we are the sickest right now. And I feel like mainly we are the sickest. I don't want to say mainly, but on the same level of importance is the food that we've been told to eat to like have a bikini body, which is, there's this little thing going around and you've seen it. It's like to have a bikini body, you just put a bikini on your body, you know? Paired with the neurosis around food and calorie counting and the Fitbit and the fitness pals and all of these things. And you know, it's like we have a culture of eating disorders that stems from that neurosis and not getting the right foods in. We're not eating the same things that we ate 100 years ago to have healthy bodies. And to see in my practice, the women I see in their 80s and 70s and 60s are leagues healthier than the girls I see that, you know, from toddler up to 30 years old. That should not be that way. But it's because there is a genetic like dip that's happening because we're not putting the right nutrients in. It's like trying to build a house with splintery wood and aluminum nails. It's just not gonna come together. So the nuts and bolts of it I have to teach, and I also, as much as I can, want to lead people away from the tension around eating, the fear of it.